has strong ties to the United States. Took a degree in mathematics from Cambridge, but then an MBA from Harvard and the Kennedy School. And I believe he expressed it as an intense American university experience. Those of us who remember the 70s understand what he means by that. I am truly honored to have had the opportunity to visit with you and your wife. I welcome you formally to the city of Houston, and I have a small gift in token of that. It is traditional when a special guest is welcome to a city that we offer the keys to the city. Now, you've already been to City Hall, so you've seen that it's a lovely building. I'm not sure what this key fits, but you're welcome to come back and try it. But sir, I would hope you come and join me, and I formally welcome you.
I'm glad that we are speaking today in an upbeat mood. I know there are problems in the world. The economies are not fully mended, and in the Gulf, we are worried about Deepwater Horizon and other very intractable problems like that. But generally speaking, if you take an Olympian view of things, of the world, the global economies have stabilized and are growing again. There are problems in Europe, mainly because of the PIGS, Southern European countries. PIGS means Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. It's a technical term. And these are problems which will not be easy to solve, but I don't think they're going to cause an upheaval in the world. And it should be able to be contained as a European issue and not precipitate another round of a global crisis. From where we sit in East Asia, we consider ourselves inextricably linked to the global economy. There's no decoupling. We are not in a different universe or different dimension. When the financial crisis struck in 07, 08, we in East Asia saw our economies and our trade volumes plunge. Even though our own financial systems were healthy, our banks were okay, we didn't have subprime loans, we had not loaded up on complicated and toxic derivatives. But nevertheless, we were connected to economies which were. And in January last year in Singapore, we looked at the prospect, we looked at the reality of our trade going down by 1/3 compared to a year ago, and our economy, the prospect of our economy going down by 10% compared to a year ago. We reacted, but beyond our reactions and what we did to overcome the difficulties, we were lucky to be in East Asia, which has, at least for this phase, a vigorous, dynamic, intrinsic strength, which will see us through another, probably more than a decade or two. So this year, last year we were talking about a V-shaped recovery. Then that looked more difficult. We talked about a U-shaped recovery. Then we thought you might have an L-shape. That means it doesn't recover. Then our mood lifted and we said, well, maybe a W. It will recover, but we'll go back down again. But it turned out to be a V-shaped recovery, and this year the economies have rebounded strongly. In the first quarter, China's grown 12%, India 11%, ASEAN somewhere 6 to 9%. Singapore in the first quarter grew 15%. I hesitate to take a bow because we have to see the long-term results. This is just a spurt for one quarter, but I think that for this year, we should be all right, and it is an opportunity for us to set ourselves right for the longer term. The good performance is partly due to pump priming, because the governments responded and boosted the economies, you see, through the rough patch. And this, the effect from the pump priming will surely moderate and tail off, because you can't keep on pumping yourself full of steroids. You can do it once. You can have some super caffeinated coffee and see yourself through the evening and the next day. But after that, it will tail off as the economies reach full capacity. But I believe that a fundamental transformation in East Asia will continue, and for a long time. China is restructuring its economy, and they know that they have to shift from export-oriented growth to domestic consumption-driven growth. And they are enhancing domestic demand by fundamental measures, enhancing social security, improving the lot of the migrant workers, and reforming agriculture to raise rural incomes. These are all the right things to do, but they're all long-term moves which will take several years at least, if not longer, to show results. And meanwhile, there is an imbalance in trade which is causing friction between China and the rest of the world, in particular between China and the US. But these are problems which have to be managed with a view to a constructive long-term outcome, which I think we're heading towards. China's labor market is tightening. They are short of workers in the coastal areas. Wages are going up quite sharply. They're getting industrial actions, strikes, sit-ins, workers demanding better working conditions, which means that workers are in demand and they feel safe to ask for more. And you've read about Foxconn and Honda and other companies which have gone on strike. The provinces and the cities in China are raising their minimum wages as a policy response to improve the standard of living of their workers and to adjust to this new situation. Overall, this is a necessary and a positive development because the whole point of economic development is to improve the standard of living of workers. It is not to have more and more factories using cheaper and cheaper workers. And as the workers' standards of living rise, as their wages rise, the factories will have to restructure, will have to upgrade, improve their productivity, living conditions, working conditions. And the economic development will be able to advance from the coastal areas, which have moved first to the more inland cities and the more backward parts of China, and bring prosperity in an advancing way to more of the population, to their benefit and to the benefit of the world.